Chris here with eufy's RoboVac X8. It's similar to the X8 Hybrid, although this model here doesn't have the mopping feature, but it has a larger dustbin. It does have the same technology, so dual cyclone motors in this. So they're two twin turbine motors, both of them produce 2000 PA, and according to eufy, the suction performance, the airflow that is it's going through, is now 80% better than, say, just a single motor. They do claim that it can lift up fine PET here, 57.6% better at that. It has their iPath laser navigation, so that is using real-time mapping. It's LiDAR that it has, this little tower at the top of the vacuum. And then the dustbin capacity, that's 600 milliliters, and it does have their ultra dust compression tech here, which eufy claims means that you'll be able to fit in the same space there about 127% more dust because it's compressing it down. The runtime of this robot vacuum is 2.5 hours, and a full disclosure here that this is a sponsored video from me. And looking at what we get in the box with the RoboVac X8, there is some paperwork here that's located in this little box at the top, and that just goes over the use of it, warranty, quick start guide. It's all in here, so there's quite a bit there. Owner's manual, and there's the limited warranty. Then our vacuum and the charging dock. So that charging dock, the charge time of the vacuum is 4 to 5 hours. And you'll see that we do have our power supply here. So that's an EU one, of course, because I'm in Europe. And we do get a spare additional side brush. And then this right here is to organize the wires there. So it's a cable tie. And they do include a spare washable filter, which is great. Charging dock has the two contacts right there that it connects up to charge. We've got a status LED at the top, and this is infrared that it uses to get up close to that charging dock. Now they do have a little bit of cable management on the underside, which is really good. So it plugs in right here to charge it for the power, but you can wrap the cable around that and have the lead go out either this side or this side, which is quite convenient. Up the top here, we have a blue and red stripe. I like the color of this, black, and then this carbon fiber style look to it. Of course, it doesn't have carbon fiber in it. And we've got three buttons here at the top. We've got a spot clean button, the power on and off, and that's also to auto clean if you hit that, and return to charge button to go back to the dock. We have a wireless status indicator right here, and then this little tower at the top that's got the laser in it that spins around. So it's LiDAR navigation. Now they call it their iPath laser navigation. So that is real-time map building that it does, and it's a systematic path that it follows to clean, just like other LiDAR vacuums. So if the vacuum didn't have this, it would be the old style ones that just ping pong off everything and they just take forever to clean. But no, that's got intelligent planning and the laser navigation with the maps and everything that I'll show you later on with the app. The underside of the vacuum, very similar to just about any other robot vacuum, but we do have a floating rolling brush here. That means it's suspended, moves up and down to adjust to different levels. Much better than a fixed roller. So if this was a fixed brush, they don't tend to adapt as well to the different heights in carpet, for example. To clean this brush, very easy. It simply just lifts out here, and then you can pull out the whole brush for easy cleaning. They've got the tool as well for it that you can use to remove any hair that will eventually end up getting stuck around that brush. So the maximum output of this, because it's got the twin motor, it is 2000 PA each of those motors, and we do have a side sweeping brush here, which is typical, so that's going to help pull in things to the main brush. Two contact points and a 360-degree wheel, which you can remove. And then the sensors up the top there to detect, for example, any falls. So if it comes up to the end of to the stairwell, at the top of the stairwell, should I say, it won't end up falling down it because it's going to detect that drop. Side sensor here, so that's to detect where walls are, so it can get up nice and close with that brush to then sweep things into the middle. We've got one of two exit exhaust vents here for those dual motors. So it is the dual cyclone technology it's using, so that's that 2000 PA times 2, which they claim eufy means that it can move 80% more air compared to just a single motor, and that it can also pick up here about 57.6% better than other vacuums with just the single motors. For example, like PET here. You can see that infrared sensor there that uses for docking, and this is a sensor and it's got rubber on the front. So if it does bump into anything, it presses in and it detects that. On the left, the other air exhaust vent. So a dustbin is very easy to remove. It has a 600 milliliter capacity. Just slides out, and we do have the main brush cleaning tool located there, which means it's hidden away. Now, they claim because of their ultra pack dust compression that this dust box has a utilization rate that has increased to 127% because it's compacting that dust in there. Now, to open it, you simply pull it in half like so. You can easily empty that out, and this is where we can gain access to our washable filters. They are very easy to remove. Then the application, so this is called Eufy Home. Once you do set it up, you have to, of course, add the vacuum. Not hard to do, and it does need to pair up to your Wi-Fi network. Once you go into it, you'll see the current status of it. So at the moment, it is charging. The last clean stats are right there. So I did a bit of a spot clean. So that line is where the vacuum has been. So you know exactly where it's going. You can see how it's mapped out everything with their AI Map 2.0 technology that they call it. So we do have multi-zones here that you can do a zone clean. You can set how many times you want it to do that. You're also able to do a targeted spot clean. So for example, I want it to clean over in this area of the house, set that up. And again, you can put how many times you want it to do that. Room cleans or auto, which is just going to go around and do everything. Now with those maps, you can save up to 5 maps, which is excellent. A lot of other brands, you can actually only save 3 maps, but this is 5. So very handy for people that have big houses, lots of stories. And you're able to set up virtual boundaries, no-go zones too with that, which is excellent. And you'll see that here we're able to adjust to, with the vacuum, the suction level there that you've got. So the maximum, the top setting is that 2000 PA, 2 times of course, because it's both of those motors there that it has, twin cyclone cleaning. And then in the settings here, you'll see that we've got various different options. Now, I won't go into absolutely everything here, but we do have a remote control. That's manual control there. The map management schedules, that's very easy to set up. So a lot of people would probably be using this. Imagine that you want it to clean every day at 10 o'clock in the morning when no one is home. You can select what days you want it to repeat, and even the power mode and what mode to clean there too. So that, again, it's all very straightforward. We've got a cleaning history. You have auto return if it needs to do that cleaning. So if it runs out of battery, but it will run for 2.5 hours, but it'll go back, it'll charge, and then continue on to do the clean. Voice settings, you can configure that with different languages, of course, and that's for the feedback you get from it, and adjust the volume of it. If you find it's annoying and too loud, you can just turn it right down. Unit settings, find the robot. So imagine you lose it, it's under the bed somewhere, you can just press that, it'll tell you where it is. And firmware updates. I've already had one firmware update come through, which is great to see. Now, how does it clean? So it's like other LiDAR navigation robot vacuums that I do test out. So this one has what is called their iPath laser navigation. It's got real-time mapping, of course, and I showed you that map with the application before. So what it will do is it strategically plans things out. Once it sees it's in a room, it will go around all the outside first, so that maps it out correctly, and then zigzag back and forward going through and cleaning. That means it picks up everything. It's efficient in its cleaning. It's not going to take a long time. It's certainly not like the older tech vacuums that I just try to avoid now completely. The ones that don't have LiDAR, laser mapping, or any mapping, those old style ones that just ping pong around everywhere are just useless to me. Now this vacuum, of course, because of the height, will be able to get under most beds, unless it's a super low bed, and under furniture and around them too. It's going to be mapping that out. It has the sensor on the front too, so when it does accidentally bump up against something, there's rubber around it too, that little lip there. It knows that straight away there. So the cleaning is quite efficient, but what about something that's a little bit more stubborn? So I did a bit of a test here. I had my cat Vera, which is molting a little bit, being spring here in Europe and Spain. I went over it once, and as you can see here, it got, I would estimate, about 85 to 90% of the little bits of cornflakes I'd left down there, some dust and some cat hair that was pressed in, and some other hair there too, which was good. And then on a second pass, it will then be able to get rid of all of it. So for something that's very stubborn and difficult on carpets, it will still need 2 passes. which you can set up with the application. You can also do spot cleaning. You can send it to one area to spot clean, get it to go over that area twice there too as well. So thank you so much for watching my video here on eufy's RoboVac X8. And of course, they do have that X8 hybrid model if you are after a model that does have a mopping feature, which is really the only con for me is this doesn't mop, but I would probably be better off getting then, of course, the X8 hybrid.